All right. So I just did a half an hour on chocolate toads and money loads, and apparently I was not broadcasting the entire time, which frustrates me to no end. I truly, truly hate this technology. I'm gonna have you hold on just a second for me, because I am quite sure that I have some emails saying, "Where the hell are you, dude?" Uh, yep, there they are. Okay. Well, to answer your question, I'll answer it in email for you who have. I'll answer to you who have sent me an email. I'll answer you personally. The answer to where I was I was not broadcasting, which is, like I said, as frustrating as it gets. Anyway, so here we are. We're going to do money toads and, or pardon me, chocolate toads and money loads. And I'm going to work on giving you my best stuff. Um, I really worked. I mean, I really was trying to give you my best stuff earlier, so I'm a little frustrated. But I guess that's just what I get for trying to do this damn technology stuff. Anyway, all right. So look, here's the uh, here's the deal. A couple of years ago, I went to the Wizarding World of Harry Potter. There's a lot of things that I recognized, a lot of things that I saw going on at the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, and it's at Universal Studios, and it was a lot of fun. I'm a huge Harry Potter fan. I love the Harry Potter stories, in large part because my children love the Harry Potter stories. At least my older daughter and my son really enjoy the stories. So we went to the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, watched the you know rode some of the rides, had a great time, watched a few shows. One of the things that was there at one of the stores was this. Peppermint toads. I just recently found this box again. But these peppermint toads were $7.95 for the box. You can see that on the bottom. And it's a 4-ounce box. Now, you don't have to pull out your calculator. That's going to come to 1.987, $1.98.7 per ounce. So basically, it's going to come to $2 an ounce. So that $2 an ounce compares to Hershey's mint chocolate kisses, which you can buy on Amazon right now for 35 cents an ounce. So $2 an ounce, Hershey's chocolate, 35 cents an ounce. How does that happen? Well, it's because there is a connection to a story. This doesn't happen on accident. This doesn't happen because people just are willing to pay more at Universal Studios. People don't even go to Universal Studios because they're willing to pay more because they want to ride a roller coaster. Hell, you can find a fare to ride a roller coaster at and pay a hell of a lot less money you can to go to Universal Studios. Why do you go to Universal Studios? Because you want to be connected to Marvel. Why do you go to why do you go to the Wizarding World of Harry Potter? Because you want to be connected to Harry Potter. Why do you pay $7 for something that you should be able to buy for 70 cents? Because 70 cents is $1.40. So why do you pay $8 for something you should be able to pay $1.40 for? Because you want to be connected to Harry Potter. It's not just about being connected. It's not just about being at a theme park. You don't have to have peppermint chocolate. You can wait till you get home to get the peppermint chocolate. You're not getting it for the peppermint chocolate. You're getting it because the peppermint chocolate is shaped like toads, and because you want to be connected to Harry Potter. Why do people want to be connected to something like that? Why do people want to be connected to stories? Well, it's a very, very reasonable question. And the truth is, I don't know. I don't know why people want to be connected to stories. I just know they do. I know that one of my favorite storylines, The Song of Ice and Fire by George R.R. Martin, G-R-R-M, George R.R. Martin, is a huge, huge HBO hit, one of their biggest ever. And people are buying $10,000 replicas of the Iron Throne. Now they're paying $10,000 for a resin chair, but they're buying it and they're shipping it, and they're I guess they're sitting in it. I don't know, but people want to be connected to the story. People want to be connected to Harry Potter. People want to be connected to businesses that are doing reality TV shows. That's why the reality TV show is such a big deal. See, people think the reality TV show is such a big deal because of the exposure. Bullshit. The reality TV show is such a big deal because it gives somebody a story to connect to. Think about that for a second. Most of the reality TV shows that center around business have ongoing stories with them. Now, some of them don't, so The Profit is a good example of one that doesn't. However, Profit, by the way, is not P-R-O-P-H-E-T. It's P-R-O-F-I-T, and it's about a guy named Marcus Lemoyne who goes in and buys businesses. But there's not really an ongoing story about Marcus on there. It's just each show is an episode, and you get to watch it, and you get to pick up some business information. So it's not really an ongoing story. It's not really something that's real close to home about Marcus. On the other hand, there's a show called Money Talks. And Money Talks is about a boiler room operation, a phone room operation of a guy named Steve Stevens. It's Darren Nataro or something like that. Is his real name. Steve Stevens is his alias, and he does sports touting. He does sports betting. Pardon me. He doesn't do sports betting. He's a tout service, so he tells people who to bet on. Well, that business has exploded, as near as I can tell, based on this show. Why? Why has it exploded based on the show? Because people want to be part of Steve Stevens' life. People want to be part of Darren's life out in Las Vegas. And they do that by doing business with his business. They want to be closer to him. Why do people buy $10,000 resin chairs or even T-shirts from the Game of Thrones? Because they want to be closer to that story. Why did Universal Studios pay loads, millions and millions of dollars for the rights to the Wizarding World of Harry Potter? Because people want to be close to the Harry Potter story. It's not because people, I mean, it has to do with star power, but it's more than that. People want to be close to the story. They want to be part of the story. They want to move into their little way and be a member of the story that's going on at the Wizarding World of Harry Potter. It's a powerful, powerful psychological drive that people want to see. That most people are living lives of quiet desperation. So says John Carlton, and I believe he's right. Most people hate their lives. Most business owners hate their lives. They hate them. They don't want to be part of their lives. They want to have fun. They want to be out hanging out and partying and or even if they don't want to do that, they always want what they don't. Everybody always wants what they don't have. They want a family. They want to have a wife or a husband and some children, or they want to go out, and if they have a wife, a husband, and some children, they want to go out and party all the time. Or if they're going out and partying all the time, they want to have a quiet life with a girlfriend or a boyfriend they can snuggle up with on the couch. Everybody always wants what they don't have. And if you seem to have everything you want to live in a world where you can wave a magic wand. If life just seems too tough, you want to live in a world where you can be a brute. You can be a psychotic bastard, and you won't necessarily go to jail for it, like the Game of Thrones. You want to be in the fast-paced world of betting, where you're making easy money, baby, easy money, like Steve Stevens out in Las Vegas. You want to be plugged into a story about something that's going on that's more exciting than your dull, drab, bullshit existence. That's why people want to plug into stories, and that is your opportunity to make a ton of money. So let's talk about how to do that. There's 4 parts of the story. 4 parts of the story. Does this ring a bell for anybody? Woo! Okay, if it doesn't ring a bell with you, that's the sign for the 4 horsemen, and which was not the religious 4 horsemen, the professional wrestling 4 horsemen, and that was Ric Flair used to go woo all the time. So the 4 horsemen and Ric Flair, woo, and he'd dance around, he'd do his thing. If there's anybody who has made hundreds of millions of dollars, billions of dollars as near as I can tell, I mean, I don't mean personally, but I mean for his business, it would be by creating storylines, crafting storylines that people want to be part of, it would be Vince McMahon in the wrestling business. Damn is all I can say. So why do people want to be part of the story? Because they're bored with their life. They don't like their life. They don't want their life. They want to have a different life. And for a few minutes, if they can do business with, enter the life of, enter the world of, or somehow disconnect from their life and connect to somebody else's life that's more exciting, they love it. So how do we do that? 4 ways. Number 1, whether you're doing now this works whether you're doing a blog, whether you're doing that you're doing once a day or a couple times a week, whether you're doing a monthly newsletter, whether you're doing daily, weekly emails, whether you're doing a video a podcast, whether you're doing like a video blog or a video podcast, some sort of television type thing, whatever media you're using, it's going to work for these 4 items. So I don't want you to get hung up on the type of media. Don't worry about it. I'm going to talk kind of along the lines of movies or television shows, but I don't want you to start thinking that this is only for movies or television shows. This is just as good for the written or the spoken word. So I want you to understand that. This is just as important for the written or the spoken word. Get that through your head. Radio, blogging, television, movies, anything. This is just the same. The rules are the same. 4 things you need to create a story that people want to be part of, and that people will, number 1, listen to and listen to and get involved in, and then number 2, want to be part of. First, you have to have them listen to it and or watch it and or read it, and you have to have them interested, coming back over and over, and so they become involved with the story. Then once they're involved in the story, then they can want to enter the story, be part of the story, be closer to the story, and they achieve that by doing business with you. See, giving you money means they can shed their boring skin and be part of your exciting life. Now, I know you're thinking, exciting life? What the hell are you talking about? There's nothing exciting about my life. I'm a jeweler. There's nothing exciting about my life. I'm an accountant. There's nothing exciting about my life. I'm a widget maker, whatever. Doesn't matter. Chances are very good that just by virtue of being an entrepreneur, your life is far more exciting than all these other idiots' lives anyway. So here's the 4 things. Number 1, you want to turn up the drama a little bit. So you want to have your real life, but you want to turn up the drama a little bit. Understand something with reality TV. Now, of course, with fiction, that's easy because it's complete fiction. Right? It's all bullshit. It's a story. It's in somebody's head, and they put it down on paper, write a script, put it, whatever. Right? So now you become part of that story. So it's easy with fiction. You can turn the drama up, no problem. Some people feel, nervous about turning the drama up when it comes to some sort of reality when they're talking about themselves. Here's the thing. If you ever did have a concern about it, then the whole reality TV thing has given you complete permission to do it. So get rid of your fucking concern, because there's no reason to have a concern about it at all. Shed it off. You think that stuff you're watching on reality TV is really reality TV? Like shoot after shoot after shoot until they get it right, and then edited down and edited down and edited down. You think the stuff going on The Apprentice is just an accurate vision of what happened, of what's what's happening in the show? Hold on just a second here. Clear that out. I wonder my computer was bogging a little bit. My computer was bogging down a little bit, and I couldn't figure out why. But I just did. It turns out that I had this open, so I was recording and having the video on my screen and watching the thing on another in another window at the same time. It was too much for the computer. Let me tell you something. Windows 8 sucks, by the way. Absolutely stone cold sucks. If you don't have Windows 8, don't get it. If you do have Windows 8, do like me. I'm getting a Mac. Anyway, enough about that. I don't like Windows 8. Step number 1. You want to turn up the drama a little bit. If you did have a concern about doing it in the past, get rid of your concern. There's no reason to have it. It happens all the time. The Apprentice, the Amazing Race. You think everything happens on The Amazing Race is a first take? You think everything that happens on Survivor is a first take? You think everything that happens that you see on that other reality show, you think all that's first takes? Bullshit. That's 3, 4, 5, 10 takes till they get it right, and then they get. Now, some of it's done on the first take, some of it's spontaneous, but certainly not all of it. Certainly not the parts that are designed to pull you in. So you're allowed to take real life and turn the volume up a little bit. That's okay. You have permission to do that now from the wide world, because TV has gone to reality TV, and reality TV is all bullshit when it comes to reality. It's not reality at all. But you have permission because all the audience doesn't want reality TV. They want the scripted. They want the reshot. They want the re-edited deal. That's what the public wants. So you have permission to give it to them. So whether you're writing, talking on audio or video or whatever, you get to have these people enter into your world for a few minutes, only you're going to turn the drama volume up a little bit. I don't mean 2 trailer park girls run around the outside drama, but, maybe instead of a conversation with an employee, you're going to describe how you had a confrontation with an employee. Maybe instead of describing how how you had a heated discussion with somebody, you're going to describe it a little bit more controversial. Maybe you're going to use a little bit more colorful language instead of just using regular business type language. Whatever you're doing, just turn the drama up a little bit. It'll pay off in fucking spades. Okay? Number 1. Number 2, there's got to be a payoff, right? Newsletters, TV shows, podcasts, whatever, there's got to be a payoff. People have got to feel like they're getting something from it. They cannot just feel like you're dragging them on and dragging them on and dragging them on. It was my big complaint about the show Lost, and I was a huge Lost fan. But man, it was like once a month you got a little tiny payoff. Give me something, right? I mean, you remember the story with Bill Clinton and Monica Lewinsky? She said that he wouldn't let her finish. She'd start performing fellatio, and then he'd tell her stop, and and that's enough. And okay, I mean, finish, wrap it up, get a little. Give them something that they can get their teeth into, right? Don't just leave them hanging every single episode, every single newsletter. They're hanging on to see the next. Every single blog post, they're hanging on. They don't ever get any resolution. Give them a little resolution. Give them a little drama. Give them a little resolution. But don't ever forget to have a running storyline through everything that you're doing. There should be very short-term storylines, one episode, one newsletter. There should be medium ongoing episodes, ongoing storylines, 5, 10, 15 episodes, newsletter, blog post, emails, whatever. Then there should be storylines that are continually ongoing, that continue through the whole thing. So now that's what keeps people coming back, are those medium and long-term storylines. See, they want to come back to find out what happened. You give them a little bit of payoff, but you're not paying everything off. See, now they feel a little satisfied. They feel good about coming and reading a little something. But now there's something hanging around that they want to find out more about. Now, when I'm talking about this, I know you're thinking, oh God, how could I possibly write all that stuff? How could I possibly write like that? I just don't know how. You don't have to know how. All you have to do is you just have to write in a personal manner. Write about your life. Just turn up the volume a little bit. Just make sure that you put things in there that are ongoing situations for you. So mention something about your family. Mention something about where your business is going. Mention something about personal items. You put personal items in there. But see, your family is an ongoing deal. Mention something about your pets. People love pets. They eat it up. But you're not going to get rid of your pet next week, right? So there's ongoing jokes, ongoing references to your pet, ongoing talk about your pet, ongoing talk about your children, ongoing talk about your family. That's the storyline. That's the storyline that continues through, right? Now, what if you're Trevor Crook and you don't have your ongoing storyline, if you're Trevor Crook, is being out partying all the time. You don't have roots. You don't have a home base for the most part. You're out in this part of the world and that part of the world and the other part of the world, and you're partying, and you're a 40-some-year-old man, and you got these gorgeous 20 and 30-year-old women hanging around you, and you're doing your thing, and you're going out and you're getting drunk and you're partying and you're and whatever. Well, that's fine, but see, now that's a continuing storyline. So each time Trevor does something, there's a little piece, and then there's a continuing storyline that runs through it about Trevor Crook and his Peter Pan syndrome. By the way, I love Trevor. Love him enough that I even make some of this stuff available to my clients because, quite frankly, this stuff is really strong for the local business owner. So I bought the rights to sell it because that's how good it is. Anyway, so if you're Trevor Crook, you're running around. That's your continuing storyline. If you're Everett Farnell, your continuing storyline is your family, your children. I don't use my pets. I use my pets less than I should, right? If you're Everett Farnell, your continuing storyline is politically involved because I'm a political animal. The continuing storyline is about how the government screws shit up for the entrepreneurs all the time. See, that's a continuing storyline with me. So we have 3 parts now. We have turn the drama up. We're going to do that through using colorful language, and I don't necessarily mean cussing. I mean, I do cuss, but that's not necessarily what I'm talking about. When I say colorful language, instead of saying I said, you might say I responded, or I retorted, or I exclaimed, or I shouted, or I yelled, or I demanded, right? Colorful language. You're going to use. You're going to turn it up by describing heated conversations as maybe a little bit more, by describing good things. And now, see, I'm talking about a lot of good things here, but now are a lot of bad things. But let's talk about good things for a second. What if you want to describe instead of describing that you made some money off a transaction, you got a fucking windfall? I had piles of money. I made piles of money on this deal, right? Nothing wrong with that. If you want to talk about how good things are really, really good, right? So listen to Trump Talk. I'll tell you how you do it. You listen to Donald Trump Talk. Go to YouTube and find 10 interviews with Donald Trump and listen to the way he talks. Everything is the biggest and the most amazing and the most fantastic and the best ever. And okay, that's what I'm talking about. right? It's a little more dramatic than normal. With Trump, it's a lot more dramatic than normal, but that's what I'm talking about. So you want to turn up the drama a little bit, use colorful language, describe things as bigger and brighter and better. Imagine watching a dull, imagine, you know, you write something and that's like the dull screen with the you know, with the colors turned down and the brightness turned down. Now you want to go through and pick some language, whether you're speaking or whether you're writing. Then you want to pick some language that's going to turn it up and make it much brighter and much bigger and much more, you know, much more interesting. So turn the drama up. Number 2, make it wrap up something small in each episode. In each installment, wrap up something small. Give them a little story and then give them a resolution to the story. Give them a little something that satisfies them so that they feel like they got something they can get their teeth into about with each installment. Number 3, you want to have a continuing storyline or several continuing storylines going through each installment of your media, whether that installment is a video or audio or written or daily or several times a week or once a month or whatever. Continuing storylines. Pick those storylines, and you want to have those continuing storylines running. Think about a show like The Mentalist, right? The Mentalist, each episode has a topic, right? It has a crime. They solve the crime, sometimes stretched out over 2 episodes. A vast majority of the time, 1 episode. But then running through in the Mentalist case, it was several seasons. Running through those several seasons, you had the Red John storyline. Then they got rid of the Red John storyline, wrapped that up, but now they had to come up with a new storyline to tie all the pieces together. Well, they did that. That new storyline was the romance storyline between Patrick Jane, the Mentalist, and now FBI agent Lisbon. Right, so now they created some tension there, and they've wrapped that up at the end of the season. Now for the next season, they're going to have to come up with something else to wrap through for a season or 2. So I'm sure they'll have something else, another continuing storyline that'll be there. So keep that in mind. You want to have a continuing storyline that goes so that you can, you know, so that you keep somebody coming back. You don't want to wrap it. It's like at the end of a sales letter. You know, you don't want to ever put at the end of a page on a sales letter when it's picking up on the next page. You don't ever want to end with a punctuation mark, right? You want to always end halfway through a sentence or with a word hanging out, or you know, if anything else, maybe you know, maybe an ellipse or something. But you don't ever want to end with, you know, commas, okay, but you don't ever want to end it with a period or a question mark or an exclamation point, because it gives somebody a good place to stop. You want to always have something to get them to the next page, and then the next page. See, now they well, it's at the beginning of a page. It's hard to stop at the beginning of a page. Hard to stop in the middle of a sentence. So you want to give them a little something on the page that keeps them reading, right? That's the episode, and then you want to, at the end of the episode, you want to have something that's going to keep them coming back, mid and long-term storylines, and then finally, last piece of the puzzle is that you want to be connected to something bigger than yourself. You don't want to have this to be strictly about you making money, right? So I tell a story a lot of times about a church I went to as a teenager. I went there with my then girlfriend. And it was in Countryside, and the pastor, up in front of everybody, he talked to the AV man. Let's call the AV man Jimmy. I don't know his name. But he says, "Okay, Jimmy, turn up those lights." This is while they're passing around the offering plate. "Okay, Jimmy, turn up those lights so they can see to write those checks." Now, how did the pastor get away with doing that? There's only one way he got away with doing it, and that's because he was connected to something bigger than himself. And he, of course, was connected to something bigger than himself through, I mean, with the church, it's obvious what the connection is to something bigger than yourself. But even outside the church, there's lots of opportunity to be connected to something that's bigger than yourself. So let's go over a couple of the stories and see where the connection is. We talked about the Song of Ice and Fire. Right? Oftentimes the connection to something bigger is good versus evil, or more importantly, honor versus dishonor. That's what the story is oftentimes about. Then we have Harry Potter. The bigger thing is good versus evil, defeating the evil. That's the big deal with Harry Potter, is defeating Lord Voldemort. That's the thing that's connected. That's the thing that Harry is willing to do anything, even die to do. That's the thing that everybody else is willing to do everything, even die to do. Then there's what other story we talked about? Money Talks, right? The TV show Money Talks. That is connected to. Now, there's two things there. The bigger picture is what he does for his wife and his girlfriend and his brand new baby. They just had a child, so that's a big deal. The other thing they talk about is how his whole business is like a family. We're all a family here, et cetera, et cetera. And he makes a point of doing things making business decisions that are not always the best business decision, but that are better for his family, quote unquote, whether it's his real family or whether it's his business family. Okay, so he does things, makes decisions, and really puts over that this is not about him making more money. This is about a bigger thing. It's about us taking care of each other, with him being the top guy taking care of everybody. So you want to make sure that your business is about something bigger. What's my deal? My deal is that I want the bigger than myself is that entrepreneurs, to me, entrepreneurs are the only ones who can save our economic world. That we have to be connected, we have to do well, us as entrepreneurs, in order to be able to spread. In order to be able to spread the message about entrepreneurialism and helping people move into an entrepreneurial mindset. See, we need an entrepreneurial mindset to save the economic world. It's you and me and people like us who are the workhorses of the economy. It's not the guy over at Goldman Sachs, right? It's not him. It's not the government, that group of parasites. It's you and me who produce all the wealth and produce all the for lack of a better term, produce all the production, produce everything that we use on a daily basis. So it's important for me to help entrepreneurs do better and to make more, because I want to leave a better world for our children. And I believe truly in my heart the only way that we leave a better world for our children is by encouraging entrepreneurial activity. So that's my bigger than myself kind of message. You've got to decide what your bigger than yourself kind of message is, and then you've got to start working on it. You've got to start beating it, and beating it like a drum. So you want to turn up the volume. Everything's bigger, everything's brighter, everything's cooler, everything's more dire than it really is. You want to have something episodic, right? Each installment has a little something that gets tied up. You want to have an ongoing storyline or several ongoing storylines that they can come back and talk to and interact with. And then you want to have everything connected to a cause that's bigger than yourself and bigger than them. The first two is what encourage people to read and to start becoming familiar and involved with the story. The last two are what keep people coming back and make them want to be part of the story. And when they want to be part of the story, they will do business with you for no other reason than they want to be part of your story. And now, of course, you have a responsibility to do right by them and to give them top service and product, service, whatever. Whatever your product, service is, it's the best that you can get, the best that you can produce for them, the best that they, best that money can buy. But you also have the ability now to increase prices. You have the ability to increase how much they do business with you. See, all this stuff, all these things start to tie people in, and they want to be part. They want to do business with you for more than just this product or service. You become not a commodity, but you become a story that they can connect to. And when you are a story that they can connect to, you go from 35 cents a pound or an ounce chocolate to $2 an ounce chocolate. Until next time, my friends, I will talk to you a little bit later. Start putting your stories together. Start deciding what your ongoing storylines are going to be. Start deciding what your greater purpose is, and start strategically looking at ways to communicate with your prospects and customers on an ongoing basis, because once you do, my friend, I can promise you this: you are going to love the results. Talk to you soon, and see you back here. I'll tell you what, I'll see you back here next Thursday, same bat time, same bat channel. Actually, half an hour early, so same bat time minus 30 minutes, because next time I will endeavor to not screw up the technology like I seem to each and every time. I'll talk to you later. Have a wonderful day.